Hi, I'm Jocelyn, and I'm running for class president. Vote for me, and I will make a difference, just like the White House Project.
The White House Project works to advance women's leadership by informing, inspiring, and equipping women with the tools that they need to actually vote, run, and lead.
I proudly accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States.
I think it's really past time we used all of our resources in this country. We are in a pretty difficult time, both nationally and internationally, and anybody would tell you that bringing in everybody you can get who might make a difference would help, and I think we should bring in some women.
And so the White House Project was formed to really begin the discussion around how do you advance women's leadership, not just in politics, but in all sectors. Our goal is to ensure that women can definitely lead a political life, but to also be informed and have the opportunity to really be able to give to this democracy what it needs in order for it to be fully represented of all of its citizens.
There are women all over this country that have the best public policy, but they advocate rather than sit in the halls of power. And I decided that we had better start putting them in the halls of power and stop getting them just to knock on the doors of power.
The White House Project's work has really been developed under a framework of what we call the 3 Ps: pipeline, platform, and perception.
It's about getting democracy revved up again. I want enough women, though, that we get to choose the women that we want to run based on their agenda and not their gender. I mean, you might say that men have been in office for years because of their gender. And what we want is to choose men and women to lead side by side based on the agendas that they bring.
Vote, Run, Lead is our initiative that really works to engage women in the political process through a 3-pronged approach, both voting, running, and getting them to actually consider themselves as leaders. The project has done extensive work in the states to really engage women on the ground level.
If you want women to run for public office, you have to do one very important thing. You have to go out and tap them on the shoulder and say, I see your power, I see your passion, I think you'd be terrific in public office.
So through Vote, Run, Lead, we've launched what we've called our Invite a Woman to Run campaign that essentially begins to invite women in. We know that that's one of the biggest barriers in terms of women identifying as political leaders, the invitation factor.
And that's why today, for President's Day, we're inviting people to send an e-card on our www.the White House Project website and invite somebody to run. Let me tell you the most interesting thing. 37% of the people who run who are men in America just self-identify, whether it's the presidency or whatever, because they see men there. The same number of women have to be invited in because it just doesn't feel normal. You know, they set
But there are enough of them now out there, you think, especially...
14%.
Right.
Actually, only 14%. There's not enough. You know, what's interesting about women in leadership roles in this country is that most people, first of all, are interested in women being in leadership. 75% of Americans actually want to see more women in leadership, particularly political leadership. But the biggest misperception is that they are sure we're there, that we lead everywhere. And I think it's because they actually watch that State of the Union address and see those 14 red and blue suits and say, oh my God, look at all those women, I'm not colorblind. And they think we're leading everywhere.
There are women out here who can actually lead and who are leading.
We've done the research that shows that women are not present on the Sunday shows. They're outnumbered by men 9-to-1 on the Sunday shows, and why they aren't seen as leaders because they aren't put on the shows that show you who the leaders are.
Through our She Source project, we're working to engage women across the country who are authoritative figures on various different issues, and to create a searchable database for media outlets across the country to be able to utilize.
We have actually invented White House President Barbie, for instance, which was the thing that encourages girls to think about being the president, and is the only doll that can call a joint session of Congress. We've gone to the Girl Scouts and actually started a Girl Scout patch with the Girl Scouts so that they can have the Madam President patch, the Miss President patch. So we've gone to places that people pay attention and actually use things to make change, to change perceptions.
And the question is, would you vote for a woman for president? These numbers are huge. 81% say they'd vote for a woman. 10% say no, and 9% say that they don't know. So if so many people say that they would vote for a woman for president, why haven't we seen one already?
Well, we have an interesting country, you know. We only have 14% of our Congress as women when Iraq now has 25% or 32%. We don't have history with queens, and we haven't gotten the political will together. We're not a parliamentary country, so we have to have a winner-take-all election if we want to get a woman president. Every 10 years, though, people say they're ready. Right now, though, I think we are ready, and I predict that there will be women running in 2008, and by 2020, we may have a couple of women.
Women across this country are excited about the work that the White House Project is doing. They know that it's time for women's voices to be heard, for us to advance women's leadership, and for us to get a woman in the White House.
So it's time.
I may not be the first woman president, but I will be president someday.